If you use Microsoft Excel for spreadsheets where multiple people need to add information, but only a couple of people need to work on formulas, you may want to think about locking the formulas in your document. This way you can share the spreadsheet, other people can make changes to the cells that contain numbers, but only authorized people with a password can make changes to the formulas. I'll show you how to lock formulas in Microsoft Excel today on Tuesday Tech Training. Hello, and welcome to Tuesday Tech Training. My name is Jennifer Stewart. I'm the owner of Gateway Productivity, and I'm a tech and productivity trainer. Today, I want to show you how to lock formulas in Excel. So first of all, what does that mean? This means that we can choose specific cells within our spreadsheet that we want to lock. And it doesn't have to necessarily be formulas, but usually that's the type of cell that you would want to lock. And what locking does is if you try to click on a cell and make a change, it will give you a pop-up and say that if you try to unlock this, you'll need a password. So if you and several other people need to make changes to the formulas, but the rest of the team only needs to make changes to the numbers or information, then you just have to make sure that the people in charge are the ones with the password to unlock the cells that may need to be changed. And again, the reason you might want to do this is that you have a very extensive spreadsheet. You need to gather information, but rather than it all having to pass through you so that you make changes to the spreadsheet, instead you can make it public to everyone. They can make changes where they need to make them in the spreadsheet, and then you can lock down those formulas so that nothing gets messed up. This can be a little hard to conceptualize, so let's go ahead and look at this within Microsoft Excel. Here we have the Excel spreadsheet that we need others to contribute to. You can see I have people's names and then they can fill in their project hours. And then this spreadsheet could be reused every month, or you can add to it, make changes to it as the time goes on. But basically, they could fill in the number of hours so that you could have a good picture of how much time had been spent on certain projects. The problem here is we want them to be able to make changes to all of these numbers, all of the project hours, but these grand totals and investment lines need to stay locked. You can see there's a formula up here, and we don't want that to get screwed up by someone accidentally clicking in there and trying to add a time. And as you saw, I just even accidentally clicked on something and made a change and didn't even mean to do that myself. So to have this locked down is helpful in multiple ways. Even someone who's in charge of the formulas might accidentally make a change. So the first thing that we need to understand is Excel automatically locks every cell. So every individual cell here is locked by Excel. It defaults to that as a protection. Now, until you protect the sheet or the workbook, that locking mechanism doesn't turn on, but it does default to locking every single cell. So the first thing we would need to do is unlock all of the cells. And so first, let's look at where this all lives. So you're typically in your Home tab here, but you can go here to Review, and there is where Protect Sheet and Protect Workbook live. Today, we're just talking about Protect Sheet and then the locked cells within the sheet. So let's just look at this first. We'll click on here. Here you can see Select Lock Cells, Select Unlock Cells. And you can see here it says we can protect the worksheet and the contents of locked cells here. And so I need to know, are my cells locked? So let's look at that next. We can click on any individual cell and go to Format Cells. That does live in the Home menu over here, but then you can also right-click on the cell, which is what I like to do, the shortcut, to go to Format Cells. And we're going to look at this protection tab here. Yours will probably default to the number. We want to go to protection. And you can see it automatically defaulted as locked. I didn't go in and make that locked. It automatically did that. So we need to make that change to all of the cells in the spreadsheet first so that then we could go back and lock the ones we want to lock. So first we need to select all the cells in the worksheet. And so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click this guy right here. It'll select everything. And I can then do the same process I did before. I right click, go to Format Cells. Now I'm going to uncheck the locked, say OK, and it just did that for every single cell. But now everything is unlocked and we could double check that. Let's click here, right click, go to Format Cells, and now you can see that is unlocked. And if I hover over that little message, it says, hey, this is an unprotected formula. And so that's how you know also that all of this is unprotected. It doesn't give you that message for the words or the numbers because those aren't as critical as the formulas are. Are you learning something new from this video and you'd like to see more videos in the future? If so, you can click the subscribe button that's below the video. Once you click that button, you'll see a bell icon. If you click the bell icon, you'll receive notifications each time a new video is posted. So next I need to select just the cells that I want locked, which is all those formula ones, and that little green arrow helps you figure out that those are the ones you need. So you can just click on the first one, hold down Control, and then cherry pick all of the ones that you need. I find that to be the easiest, and then you can just do it slowly, one at a time. So now I have them all selected. I can let go of Control, and the next step is to go back to the right click and Format Cells, and we're going to check Locked for these. I'm going to say OK, and all of a sudden all those little green arrows go away, so I know that these are all now locked. And you can see if I go here and check the Format Cells, that one's still unlocked. So we're good to go here. We've got just the formulas locked, and now we go back to Review, Protect Sheet, and now I can set my password for the folks who would need to go in and change those formulas. So you can use whatever password you want here. Just make sure you communicate that with the other people. And I'm going to say OK. And it wants you to re-enter the password just to make sure that you have it correct. And make sure you write that down. I'm going to say that multiple times. Be sure to write that down and give it to the people who need it. I'll say OK again. And if you're on autosave, then that is automatic. It saved it. You're good to go. If you are not someone on autosave, you'll need to save that spreadsheet before that change is made. So now we can see that this changed up here to unprotect sheet, which means that our sheet is currently protected. I would need to click that button to unprotect, which we'll do in just a second. So now if I try to make a change to one of these formula cells, it gives me a message. And I'll move my picture out of the way so we can read this. It says the cell or chart you're trying to change is on a protected sheet. To make a change, unprotect the sheet. And if someone then clicks unprotect sheet, it gives them the prompt for the password. Now, if you have shared this with other people and they need to go in here and just change their number of hours, you can see they can still go in and do that. Let's see what happens if I do put in that password. So we'll try this again. I get that message. I'll go unprotect sheet, and I'm going to put in my password. We'll say OK. And now it doesn't look like anything changed, but you see now this says protect sheet. So that means now everything is unprotected and I can go make changes to this formula. If you're one of the people that's in charge of this spreadsheet, you need to remember to go back up and re-protect it. So I would need to put in the password again, and then I would protect it again. And again, remember, it'll have you put in the password 2 times, and now it's protected again. So that's not only do you need to share the password, but you need to let people know that they'll put in the password, and then when they're done, they need to go protect the sheet again. The exact same process then is what you do to unprotect the sheet and leave it unprotected. You would go in here, put in your password, say OK. Now this is unprotected. It's auto saving, or you can click save. And if I was to close this and reopen it, Now, if I go back to review, it's still unprotected, and I would have to click on this to protect it again. I hope this tool for locking formulas can help you out with your spreadsheets and maybe make it a little bit more efficient. If you had people sending you all of their changes, now you can have them make the changes themselves and still protect those formulas. If you still feel like you need any help with this or any other tech challenge, feel free to schedule a tech stress breakthrough call with me. You can do that by clicking the heart in the monitor that's above me now, or you can go to my website, which is gatewayproductivity.com, click on the Let's Talk button and schedule a time. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.